What's up, everybody? It is Geeks with Wives and Capes, episode 77. I'm your host tonight, Casey at Bad Boy Comics, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Agasicles and Piper, and tonight we're going to be talking all things comic books, Fantastic Four, maybe a little trending stuff on Twitter, the newest and latest things in geek fandom. So I hope you join us and stick with us, and we'll jump right into it and say hi to everybody. What's up, Agasicles? How are you?
What's going on?
Oh, you're just chilling. How's your coffee?
It's good. It's good. It's 2 days old, so
Oh, whoa.
that's by now it's got some good flavor baked into it.
That's rough. Piper, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I see you're donning another new hairstyle tonight.
Yes. I'm collecting a lot of wigs now so that I don't fry my hair.
So you're just gonna wig it up all the time? We're gonna have a different wig every episode. That'd be a fun little thing.
Yeah, I think eventually I'll have to cycle through wigs. Maybe I'll style them different, though, to make them different.
You need to start a wig fund. You need to get 52 wigs, one for every
Yes.
episode of the year.
Nice idea, and then just start over at the beginning of the year. Well, I have, like, 4, so I'm getting there.
Well, how's it going? How's your week been?
It's been alright. I just started working, like, a real people job, I guess.
They allow you around real people?
Right? That's what I said. But no, I'm working at my school, and it's pretty cushy because I'm just a design lab monitor, so I just take care of a design lab so that other future designers can come in and use the computers and the programs if they don't have them at home. And it's also the only place I can get any peace and quiet so that I can do my work, even though I have the programs at home. So it's really nice.
You're just making sure nobody's hacking into Sony in there.
Oh no, they can hack into Sony. I don't think anybody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna notice. No, I'm basically there to make sure that they don't steal stuff, which is funny because I'm like the only thing in there really to steal would be the computers themselves, and I would love to see them try to get out of the building hauling a giant freaking computer.
So why don't we go right into it? Tell us about your week in geek. What did you read this week? What did you watch?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm really bad at this hosting thing. I haven't done it in a long time. It's really awkward for me now.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna like make a go around in a circle and.
Oh yeah, I guess I should. You wanna let Agasicles go first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Agasicles,
Yeah, okay.
give us your week in geek, my friend.
Yeah, sure, no doubt. So, it's only Thursday night, so I've only gotten a short way into my pull list for the week. So far I've read Inhuman number 11, which is a Charles Soule joint, and Aquaman number 38. I had just popped open Gotham Academy number 4 before the podcast started.
Man,
So.
that Gotham Academy is getting so much love everywhere. That's all I hear about nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little. I don't know. I'm a little lukewarm on the series. It's neat. It's a nice idea. It's something different. I get it. It's not something that I'm gushing over. So.
I love the art style. It'd make a really good cartoon on like Saturday morning.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. So anyway, I'll be hopefully finishing that up tonight. I probably got about another, I don't know, 7 or 8 books in my pull list for the week. Looking forward to reading Batman number 38, just because I do not normally read the main Batman book, so it'll be kind of neat to poke my head back in and see how that's doing. And then also looking forward to Exo Manowar number 32, because that series has been really good. It was particularly good through 2014, so and with kind of all the events going on in Valiant, It's continuing to do well. So I think I reviewed issue 31 last week, or maybe 30 the week before. So looking forward to that.
I feel like I jumped on Valiant right at the right time because they like blew up all of a sudden. Everything just started popping and they started getting great books.
Yeah. I mean, in the not just this week, but maybe last week. Ivar the Time Walker #1 was really good, and also the Valiant #2, which is kind of like their big event book where like all of the Valiant characters are in this big crossover. Absolutely awesome. So Valiant's particularly strong right now, I think.
Yeah, I need to catch up. The last thing I read from them was the Exo Manowar crossover thing with Armor Wars or Armor Hunters.
Right.
Which I liked a lot. And since then I haven't been able to jump on board because, as you know, we get to read a ton of comics every week. It's very hard to pick and choose which ones you're gonna read. Cool. So what else you got for me? What else were you reading?
That's pretty much all I've been reading. Oh, no, I should say, and then this came in the... Where's my camera? Yeah. I'm sorry, I just cannot... With the lag, I can't track whether I'm raising or lowering this. So this came in this week. This is North 40, Volume 1, the trade paperback, so it collects all four issues of that miniseries, which was a Vertigo series that came out back in like 2008, I think. So that's my kind of trade of the month that I'll be reading. And then on the screen, I watched, I still have to finish it up, but I watched Dracula Untold, or at least the majority of it, and continued my trudge through Arrow Season 1.
How is Dracula? I haven't. Where is it? Like on rental or is it on Netflix somewhere? It's rental, right?
So it just released via some digital services for purchase. So one of the things I do is and I really like this feature. So on Google Play Movies, you can actually go in and pre-order movies. So typically, what I do is I'll go in there and queue up like 3 movies on pre-order, and when they release, I just get an email notification that the movies are available, and and my account gets charged, and then I just go in there and download them. So I was on travel earlier this week, and Dracula Untold dropped right before I left, so I quickly downloaded it and put it on one of my devices and watched it on the plane ride back.
So you're all digital? See, I don't trust the all digital thing yet. Like I still have to have like a physical copy of like a Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, I'm not all digital. Like I said, I really just do
moving in that direction.
No, not really. I mean, I kind of mix it up. So I still do Blu-rays and DVDs. I just because so the reason I do the Google Play thing is because I'm really bad about like a movie comes into the theater and I see it and I'm like, I don't really need to go to the theater to see that. I can watch that like on a mobile device or in my home theater or whatever. So, but my problem is I don't keep
home theater.
Well, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
We are all moving to Agasicles' house, home
right?
So,
what kind of surround sound system you rocking in there? Come on, give it to us. I know you know.
What's that?
What kind of surround sound system you rocking in there?
My surround sound's not that great. It's just like a Sony home theater in a box thing.
Are we talking like a projector with like stadium seating?
No, I just do. No, just in the basement. I have like a 50-inch plasma with the home theater box hooked up to it, and a couple streaming devices.
Basements are something we don't have in California.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Are they really?
No, I don't think I've ever seen a basement in my entire life.
Louisiana, you can't have basements in Louisiana either, but that's because of the
because you'll drown.
Low sea level. So yeah, basements were a new experience for me too in Ohio. I thought they were like the coolest thing for a little while.
I think basements are probably bad during earthquakes, so that's probably why, right? Like,
yeah, that
you don't want to be
be
underground during an earthquake.
Right.
So.
Right.
I don't know how any of that works. Awesome. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I want to watch Dracula Untold. But like I said, I have to wait till it comes out on like rental or Redbox or something.
Yeah,
that's not a fucking purchase for me.
I'm a big fan. I know that movie got. I guess I felt like that movie got a lot of hate, and I need to kind of pull a thread because maybe it didn't get a lot of hate. Maybe it was just that it didn't do that well box office wise when it released. So, but I'm a fan. Like I said, I had to watch the last 30 minutes of it before I give it a definite thumbs up. But the first hour of it was pretty solid, in my opinion.
See, another thing I can't do. I couldn't just stop halfway through a movie. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I had to get off the plane, so they were going to let me sit there and watch the last 30 minutes of it. So
this is why I don't watch movies on planes. Yeah, my logic is all fucked up. I could never I just feel like I would have to I couldn't finish it. Like they'd have to take me. I'd just be like, all right, just take me to wherever we're going next. I'll just sit here until the movie's over. Oh right, Piper, your turn now.
Yay!
Oh wait, Agasicles, were you done? I'm so rude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The only other thing is I got a good chunk of gaming in, so played the Bard's Tale, which is available on Google Play now. So they actually packed that whole game onto Android. So
hey, how much is Google Play paying you? It's a real question here.
Hey, I'm an Android user, and it just happened this week. There were both that game and the movie dropped. So I definitely play and watch stuff on other platforms too.
Right on. Yeah, because we've been talking Dragon Age, and I've been getting into that a lot. In fact, it's probably why I didn't read as many comics this week as I should have, because I'd rather be playing Dragon Age, which is not what a guy that hosts a comic podcast and runs a section about comics should be saying. But truth be told, sometimes I just need a little gaming time, and that Dragon Age is really kind of hitting the spot. Although I feel like it's a daunting task. I still haven't had a chance to have sex with anybody yet, which I feel like I've been playing for 4 hours, and that should have happened by now. Because I know if I was watching a Sylvester Stallone movie, it would have happened 20 minutes in. So we need to get that ratio down a little bit. Anyway, I know I'm a pervert. Sorry.
We are talking about in the game, right?
Yeah, in the game. I don't get to have sex in real life. Are you kidding? I'm married.
That's why I wanted to clarify what you were talking about this time.
Oh, okay, Piper. Now I think it's your turn. Before I completely derail this podcast. Oh, this is why I don't host anymore, folks.
Well, let's see. I did get to have sex this week, so there's that.
TMI.
Let's see. Okay, so I read comics. Yes. Okay, here we go.
Yes, this is as much as I
comics podcast. All right.
As I messed it up, you guys are supposed to be the professionals around here, not me.
So I read Bitch Planet #2.
Fantastic, love it. I love it. You love it?
No, but
oh my god, what's wrong with you?
I'm tolerating it because I do want to know what happens. I just don't like beat in the face with a narrative, I don't know, in my entertainment.
Yeah, but it's done in a fun way. There's the panel where they're running on the treadmills and the fat girl
oh my god, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so good. And then
and the whole time you're getting in the background.
Yeah, and then the whole time different people want her to take on this team. I'm really interested to see what the game is, because that's really kind of
yeah. All I know is it's deadly, and I'm
Hunger Games aspect to it.
Yeah, right now I keep imagining gladiatorial combat, but
well, they keep referring to teams, they have to have a strong team, you need to there's a weight limit involved apparently.
Something about a weight class thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
See, and part of me, so I'm into the story enough, and I'm curious enough that I don't want to quit reading it and stuff. So nothing bothers me enough to quit reading it. I don't like getting punched in the face with a narrative. I would love for this to be a cool, slightly futuristic, sci-fi-ish story with that element to it. But when I'm getting punched in the face with patriarchy, men suck, and it's like sucks. Like,
listen, I am a man, and we do suck. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, but
yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah. If I wanted to know that, I'd watch the news, though. So, so I don't like things being spoon-fed to me or shoved down my throat or punched into my face brutally, repeatedly. It takes away from the entertainment and the fun when you're constantly like, you start to get into the story a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, they're pushing a narrative. Almost forgot. Not. But
So now, Piper, are you reading Kelly Sue on Captain Marvel?
no.
Okay, all right. I just wondered how this book, Bitch Planet, compares to the work she's doing over there.
Yeah. See, I'm not, because I started really getting into indie and
Bitch Planet is really like hardcore. Like it was no
everybody's been
secret.
reviewing the big ones. So
All right.
I started gaining a fondness for smaller or slightly more indie comics, and I get all my Marvel and DC news. Like, I catch up. I do play catch up, but then I get a lot of the news from you guys, and that keeps me in the loop a lot of times. But yeah, I like.
Are you familiar with? You're familiar with Kelly Sue DeConnick, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that was no surprise to me. Like I knew I kind of knew going in what that book was all about, and it was kind of her like Image is gonna let me say what I want to say and do what I want to do, and this is the book that I'm
Yeah.
gonna make.
Oh no,
kind of
and
thing.
all power to her. I'm saying from an entertainment aspect, me personally, I'm having some troubles. And I guess it's because I don't like shoved down my own throat, like, being the owner of a pair of ovaries myself. I don't like being shoved down, like, my own throat that I'm supposedly being oppressed and shit. And so, but she's giving it enough personality in there and enough, like, cool shit in there that I am still very, very interested. Generally,
Yeah, the
I just
art's
can't.
amazing.
Yes, so I'm still enjoying myself. I'm just, it's why I got bored with Agent Carter really fast. It's the same premise of, yes, I get it. Can we do something else though with?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. Casey, I guess we're going to talk about the whatever comics forward initiative or whatever that Boom.
I was just gonna bring that up. Like, Piper, we're gonna talk about this thing later.
Oh yeah. No, you're fine.
No, I think Piper is all for a movement like Comics Forward. I don't think that's at all what she's saying. I just think what she's saying is like, it's like when anyone that's gonna write this kind of story is, I don't know. I don't want to, like, any way you come at this, you're gonna come off sounding like a really bad person.
I'm trying to explain my feelings, and the best I can come up with.
It's like it's very obvious that that's what she's going for.
Right. So
yeah, and I think she doesn't mind that it's obvious, but
no, I don't.
Pushing it so freaking hard, she's making everything very one-dimensional.
Right. So so the big question is, should there be content, fiction, entertainment, whatever that is used as a vehicle to send those kinds of messages, or should those messages just be broadcast in completely separate channels that are dedicated for that discussion?
I think the discussion itself is a discussion that should be made available in multiple different areas, because it is something that needs commented on, and if somebody's like not looking somewhere else for the information, maybe slip it into something that they will absorb. Somebody who's super into comics might not be getting the message somewhere else, but they can get into a comic. My problem is, and I think part of my problem right now is that at this very moment, the entire world is going all super whatever crazy,
Right.
And I think that's part of why I am getting so sick of it.
Yeah, you're a little saturated by it.
Yeah, I think I'm a little oversaturated, and so I probably am being overcritical a little bit of Bitch Planet, because that's the point of Bitch Planet.
Right.
I do think it's making everybody a little flat, though. I don't really care about getting to know each individual character, because I'm so full of chick drama, I don't know, patriarchy bullshit, that I just want to see them beat the shit out of each other, and that's what I want at this point.
So a little bit of it is you're a little oversaturated by the ongoing conversation, but then another aspect is, there are different ways to do that, right? You can make, in this case, it sounds like Kelly Sue has dedicated, like every page of this thing to broadcast that message, whereas, there are those, and I'm sure we've all seen, like, those movies or like those TV show episodes that, like, the whole episode is just like a regular show, but there's this one scene where, like, this one poignant thing is said, and you're like, oh, that's his whole point, or her whole point. But they do it just in the context of that one scene.
Yeah, no, don't, like, on the other hand, I think if your goal is to entertain and inform, you need to concentrate a lot on that entertainment part, or you're going to lose your audience. So if you're punching people in the face with this, now, I'm sure, like, super feminists are reading Bitch Planet and going, hell yeah, and they probably love the shit out of it. And then there's me, who's like, yeah, I agree with some girl power stuff, but I think now we're getting way too over the top, and I'm more equality than girls are the bestest. So, and so I'm getting a little bit tired of the man-hatey part. I'm all for the girl power part, which is why the next thing I read was Rat Queens. Because there we have the girl power part without the entire thing dedicated to
good segue,
hating
because
on
I was
guys.
getting really fucking over here.
Bored or what?
No, not bored. Number one, you guys got way too smart for me. So I was out of the conversation about a paragraph in.
I guess if you turn a comic into a political commentary, there's going to be
someone hurry up and make a fart joke.
Yes, no. So apparently I was just on this girl power kick or something, because the next thing I read was Rat Queens, because Bitch Planet reminded me that I was behind an issue of Rat Queens. So so I went and read Rat Queens, and that was a flashback for unfortunately, it's been a while, so I forgot everybody's names, but they are still super awesome chicks. But it was a flashback as to why the dwarf joined the Rat Queens, I think, and go figure, that issue had a lot of patriarchy sucks, blah 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 stuff in it too. So I was like,
was this the one that came out? Was this the one that came out like a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
I think so. Issue 9. That's the one.
Oh no, I think it was a number 1.
What I think is funny is her act of rebellion is shaving her beard. And I think that's really cool and really funny at the same time. I don't know why. My act of rebellion is to look more like a hot chick than... But she was asked to... She wanted to fight in the tournament that her brother always got to fight in. That is a family... I don't know. I guess it's a dwarf thing, but her family hosts it. And she's been training, and... She thought she wasn't even going to get the opportunity, and then she thought she had the opportunity and was told, no, you model the armor, like you always do. And so it shows her modeling the newest armor that her family forged, and she's getting cat calls and all sorts of bullshit, and she finally goes and beats the shit out of a dude, gets yelled at by her dad, runs off, shaves her beard, and pretty much that's... she takes off, I'm pretty sure, after that. Because I guess she didn't get to fight in this person's place. However, a different female dwarf from a different clan got to. And that clan, or that dwarf also didn't have a beard. It was all kind of stubbly. And so she saw her get announced and bolted down there and wanted to talk, So she was like, why don't you have a beard? Are you a mercenary? You're not wearing a crest we recognize. And that dwarf is just like, because fuck what people tell you to do. Do you. Don't fuck tradition. Like, so she got all inspired.
Oh, that book was speaking right to you, wasn't it?
Huh? Oh,
that
yeah.
book was speaking right to you.
Gosh, fuck beards, man. Like,
you needed that book when you were 16.
Yes. Oh, yes, I was living it, man. That was so. While it was also very girl power, and I'm sick of being put in this girly role by guys, and why can't I do what the guys do? It took it in a more entertaining way. There's more humor in it than just one scene, for one. There was more humor in it, and it was less punch you in the face with it, but you still got the message. And so Rat Queen's comparing it to Bitch Planet, I think, was a cool thing to read back to back, because they're both taking the same message, but they're going about it two completely different ways. And for me, I think Rat Queens is more successful with it because it's more entertaining. It's not completely centered on every single piece of dialogue, and every single scene is all about this thing. It just has it in there, but it slips it in there in a cooler way, I guess. So it was cool. And then to cleanse my palate, because I was all tired of girl power, I read...
Hold on. I gotta make a joke real fast.
Oh, okay.
So what you're saying is Bitch Planet just needs more trolls.
Mm-hmm. Totally. More trolls.
More trolls, more magic.
Cooler hair. Yeah. More beards.
Kelly,
more bearded
women.
But yeah, then to cleanse my palate, I read X-Files 0, number 2, and I'm not even sure how old that is. That's something that I've been reading just for the sake of I've wanted to read the X-Files comics for a long time and never got my hands on them. But so I don't know how old news it is, but it seems like they're dealing with a werewolf problem-ish. Not as much to talk about because I'm pretty sure it's pretty old.
Isn't that how you could describe pretty much every X-File plot can just end with ish?
Ish?
Vampire-ish guy, alien kinda maybe, fire
no,
breather.
A lot of times it's either yep, that's totally an alien, or it's totally a this, and then they got really creative with making up monsters, which is something I wish Supernatural would do, because Supernatural seems really stuck on for the most part, actually sticking to mythological creatures and stuff that like we actually already have in our lore, and don't do quite as much making up crap. And I think that they should make up more critters, because I love their Monster of the Week fucking episodes.
How do you feel about X-Files coming back?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm kind of excited and kind of apprehensive. I guess that's, the same way that we probably feel whenever Michael Bay touches our childhood, where we're kind of like, oh, cool, our whatever, Ninja Turtles is coming back, and then the rest of us, the other half of us, like, oh, shit, it's Michael Bay.
I think it would be way better if he just came back as Hank Moody from Californication and then worked for the FBI.
You know what? He's not going to come back.
Yeah, he said he was coming back. They're doing it. It's go. It's a go. It's going. 10 episodes.
Okay, because I was reading stuff, and first I read that.
Right, Agasicles?
I actually am not certain, because I just X-Files was not something that was really a part of my thing. So with 10 episodes, that makes it sound like. Sorry, is this going to be an Amazon series or a Netflix series?
No, it's just like a mini series. Like they just want to do like a short little like get in, get out. Like,
okay.
Bing, bang, boom.
See, I read somewhere that the original cast was talking about that another movie would be pretty cool, but not rehashing, like not the miniseries. And then I started seeing that Gillian Anderson, that was bullshit, and Gillian Anderson was actually really freaking excited. But I could have swore David Duchovny burned that bridge when he left, because, man, he trashed X-Files hardcore. hardcore when he left.
Nah, he's on board.
Yeah, he probably needs money then, I'm guessing.
They need
He's getting a little broke there.
they need to go back and try and do that Lone Gunman series again.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that it didn't work out, but even I didn't 100% like
buy into it.
There's a fun
Yeah.
lone gunman comic where they hunt down the like Transformers and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like the Ghostbusters and stuff.
Yeah, was it like a 3-issue miniseries or something like that?
I think it was 4 or 5.
Okay.
5.
All right.
Yes, and I still need my grabby hands on that.
Well, you know where to. I'll tell you where to find it later.
Sweet. Not later.
Cool. Is that it?
Yeah, sorry, I talked a lot about just.
Yeah, that's our show, guys.
Comics,
so,
but
nice talking,
I have
everybody.
a lot to say about those first 2 comics.
Okay, I'll go fast because I don't feel like I can talk that much today.
Oh.
I also read Bitch Planet, but I didn't feel as beat over the head as you did about it. I really like it a lot, and I think
I like it.
I think it's one of those comics that like I think comics are really underutilized in like educational resources, and I think that's a way that you could really kind of teach feminism and those ideals in a fun, like engaging way.
Well, then I think our big difference
to young
is
people.
that to me, feminism isn't hating on dudes.
I don't think that
painting
book's
them out
hating
to
on
be
dudes,
like
though.
intentional.
I think that book is just saying that like in this society, like women are subjugated to less than human, and that's just how the book's written. So I mean, the dudes are definitely the bad guys, but I'm sure there's like not all dudes are bad guys. Even that girl's like spoiler alert. That girl's like indoctrinated. She's like a prison guard or whatever. I don't know. I just think like, yeah, it does kind of beat you over the head with it, but that's what it's supposed to do. And that's what it's meant to do, and it does it in a fun way. And the art is fucking gorgeous.
Yes, I am a big fan of the art style.
I also read Casanova. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill it. Estia. Casanova Estia.
I know.
By Matt Fraction, and Fabio Moon. Really cool book, really fucking cool book. In fact, that's how I would describe it. It's like it's about this guy who doesn't have a memory, and he's like a butler for like another guy, but he's like a cool butler who like does like stuff like kills people and like does shady shit for the guy, and he's like his right hand man. They're like he's like his only friend. You've seen that movie trope where like the butler is like his only friend, kind of like Batman, but the guy's not Batman. And so like the guy like
I don't know why that was funny, but it was.
He's like Alfred, but like younger and like and his boss isn't Batman. That's how exactly.
So it's like Alfred, but totally not. Anything.
He's like Alfred, but he would totally kill a guy, like for no questions asked.
He's like Brave. He's like the Brave and the Bold Alfred.
Yeah, there you go. Like the Secret Service one. So he doesn't have a memory. He doesn't really know like anything other than he just works for this guy or whatever. And then the guy is the same way. He doesn't have a memory. He doesn't know like very much about his past or how he got where he was. And then like all this shit happens, and there's a lot of explosions and gunfire. And I don't want to like. I feel like comics are really hard to describe, because I think a lot of the joy in taking them in is like visually seeing them and taking them, and that's one of these comics. Like it's very much like a high like impact action movie, with a lot of like crazy intrigue and like kind of like supernatural stuff that like you wouldn't expect. And you don't want to like I don't want to give too much away. So I really recommend reading it. The art style is amazing, and the panel structure is a lot of fun and very like moving or like fast moving and gives a lot of motion to the art. So check that out. Matt Fraction's fantastic. He's really good at kind of creating these wild, inventive ideas, especially if you read his latest Odyssey, which is a different take on the Homer tale. I guess that you'd call it. His name's Homer, right? I was just like, so weird. You guys like you know what I'm talking about, the Odyssey, like the story of the Odyssey. Yeah. Okay. You guys are nodding your heads. I can't hear you nodding your heads, by the way.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yes, we know what you're
Yes, I
talking about.
totally know the
Okay,
Odyssey.
there we go.
It's been the topic of the last couple of episodes of Arrow that I've been catching up on.
Oh, really? Oh, man. I don't pay attention that close.
Where are you? Wait, never mind. Wait.
It's season 1. It's like the 2.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Odyssey? yeah.
It's the 2 episodes where there are references to the Odyssey or the Iliad. Or
cool.
whichever.
We can talk about Arrow then. Hi.
Yeah. Get with the times.
Well,
Fill in the gaps.
Thanks for Netflix. I am a season behind, like always.
I'm sorry, Case. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. It's a conversational podcast. We can interrupt each other. I prefer it because that means I don't have to talk as much. I don't have to do as much work. I also read the Uncanny Avengers kind of like reset, I guess, after Axis. And it's basically kind of just changes the whole team lineup. Like Wanda or Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver join the team. Vision's on the team. Sabretooth's on the team. Dr. Voodoo, who's like another like Doctor Strange character, is on the team. Captain America, but the Sam Wilson Captain America, and Rogue. So actually, Rogue and Scarlet Witch are like the only original members from the first run of Uncanny Avengers. But this one is kind of like a story kind of like searching for Scarlet Witch in Quicksilver's past, because in Axis we found out, spoiler alert, so don't get crazy, people. In Axis we found out that Magneto is not their father, so now they're like kind of on a hunt for their past, and a classic kind of Avengers villain shows up to kind of introduce himself in the story, and maybe he's kind of tied to Wanda. I keep calling her Wanda, like people know who the fuck I'm talking about. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Wouldn't people know who you're talking about?
I don't know.
That's cool, man. That's one of the most awesome things is when you're on a first name basis with a superhero.
Right?
I know, it's so weird. Like,
it's like when you reference Batman as Bruce.
Yeah.
Like I try to get my wife to name our next kid Bruce. Like it's really what I'm pulling for. And she was like, "No one is named Bruce anymore. Like it's just, the name does not exist. It's not a real name."
No, that's what we need to get back to is these classic names.
Yeah, Skylar. That's not a real name.
Right?
Agasicles is the real name. That fucking shit. Is
No,
100 years old.
because now we're like making all sorts of like weird names up, like, but for actual babies. So maybe we need to get back to the classic name roots a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, Piper. I agree.
Well, actually, I don't think we're making things up. We're mostly just naming our children after inanimate objects, so we really need to dial it back and maybe get back to the roots.
Hey, my daughter Chair would take highly offense to that.
Blanket. I mean, come on. Blanket.
Oh, I forgot about Blanket.
Yeah, nothing says maybe we should get a little more creative than Blanket.
But that guy could really dance, right?
Yes,
forgiven.
he was creative in dance, not naming things.
The worst thing about those names is, what happens when you give a kid a name like that, and like through some cruel life irony, like it just doesn't work out well. Like you name your kid Quick, and he's horrifically slow.
Yeah.
Or your roommate smothers you with the blanket.
Right.
Oh man. I bet you they change their names and disappear, and we never hear from those kids again. So yeah, Uncanny Avengers.
I'm not saying name your kid like Eugene or something, because that is also them asking to get beat up. But so is Blanket.
Can we talk about comics now?
Yep. Sorry.
We are. Totally are. This is relevant.
I'm such an asshole. Yeah. So the best thing about this book, art style is really cool. It's really out there. Like if you're not like a deep Marvel lore reader, you'll have no idea what's going on and who any of these other characters are, because it's like talking about like stuff that's happened. I don't want to give it away because I'll give away the bad guy, but it's really fun. It's very like high lore stuff. So I don't know where this goes. Like it seems like it does kind of feel like it is leading into Battle World in some way. But once again, read it for yourself and take it in. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and the art is fucking crazy fun.
Yeah, it feels like a throwaway. You know, it feels like, okay, we're, you know, I don't know what the timeline is, 4 months, right? We're 4 months before Battle World and all that stuff.
Right.
So it feels like, well, we don't really want to do anything significant with these remaining 4 issues, so let's just, you know, abolish the old, you know, team lineup, throw some new stuff in, and then we could just have like 3 or 4 more junk issues.
You know what it is?
Walk into Battle World.
Here's what it is. I'm so dumb. I should have thought about this earlier. It's about Wanda. I keep calling her Wanda again. It's about Scarlet Witch and Pietro. Quicksilver. It's gonna end. I bet you it's 4 issues, so like 4 months. It's gonna end right when Avengers: Age of Ultron comes out, and I'm sure this issue or this series or this arc, whatever, is gonna what makes them the Inhumans or whatever, so they can tie that into the Marvel universe.
So well, let me ask you that question, right? Because I did the feature or opinion piece or whatever on, you know, my own thoughts on like Battle World and everything. One of the things that a little bit of what I don't understand is there's been this huge effort to try and align the Marvel Comics universe with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, it's just been bleeding in. That can't possibly be maintained as they go to Battle World. So it seems like...
Can they bring, like, will one of the Battle Worlds be the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I don't think on the current timeline, right? Because they have to do Civil War first, right?
They are playing catch up, kind of in
No,
a little bit.
Like you have to think of Battle World. I hate this, but you have to think of Battle World as like an Infinite Crisis situation where, like, technically they don't have to be on the same time.
Give me a second to throw up.
I know. I hate that. It's so dumb. I hate that. Like I hate that comparison. I heard someone else compare it to Flashpoint too, and I'm like, I don't really think that's what they're doing. Like I really don't think that's what's going on here.
I mean, that's what I put in my piece, right? That I was like, Jesus, you know, if I remove all the Marvel branding from this paragraph that I just wrote, I would certainly think that this was a description of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right. Oh yeah. Man, I really hope that's not what they're doing.
So I don't know. It's just curious. I just found it curious that you were thinking that it's leading up to, you know, a convergence. No pun intended on the DC event that'll be going off here shortly with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know,
yeah, that's getting confusing real fast.
I don't know.
But I think the thing they're taking about the Marvel thing is I think they purposely avoided the word reboot because I really do think what they're doing is a convergence. Like I think they're just gonna mash all these one entities into the 616 universe, and some people will die, some people will live. But Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales will now be a 616 character. Blah 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 blah. I think the majority of like the one-off like what if characters or weird like Hulks or Iron Mans will probably die, or they'll somehow save their world. I just don't see them like rewriting everything and be like, yep, everything's a number 1 now, and we're all gonna do origin stories again, and the Avengers team is going to reform, and they're going to look like the movie. They're going to reform just like the movie team or whatever. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that.
No,
hopefully not. God, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, and in 30 years from now, just like DC, they'll just do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, probably totally right. Oh yeah, so I got through one book. That was good. Oh my goodness, God gracious.
Bitch Planet and Uncanny Avengers.
Oh yeah, and Casanova.
Yeah.
I also read Batman 30. I did read Batman 38. I won't spoil anything because it's fantastic.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I think Scott Snyder knows the character really well. I think DC allows them to put a lot of heart and effort into this book because the art is amazing. And this issue is thick, man. It's one of the thicker books out this week.
Is it is Capullo still on art on that one?
Oh yeah. I think Snyder and Capullo will like go
Die
in and
together.
out together. Yeah.
Die together, be buried in the same tomb.
But Capullo's art is fucking. He's a perfect Batman artist. Like
Yeah.
he just fits that world so well. And then like a lot. I think they changed inker, but the last inker they had, maybe they didn't. But the ink is very reminiscent of like the animated series. Like that's why I think I love this book so much. Yeah, thicker lines, like dark backgrounds, like bright. The colors are really bright when they need to. A lot of like dark reds and dark oranges. So yeah, it's really. I just love reading this book so much. I'm getting kind of wary though of like so many Batman titles, and then like the upcoming like Bluebird stuff and how she fits in the story because there's gonna be a jump in time at some point, I assume, because we've seen a preview of like or maybe that's for Batman Eternal. I don't know. There's so much Batman stuff going on. Like I feel like I'm lost.
Well, I think the whole DCU is going to time jump at some point, right? I mean, I guess that's kind of a key component or the whole point of Convergence, is that it's the 5 years later or whatever. I don't know.
This is getting all so confusing. Because they're doing a thing too where they're changing all their books during their event, right? Like it's going to be all every book is going to be related to Convergence.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I guess what could possibly happen is there's Convergence, and it's just a big. It's not even cleanup, but then just after Convergence, everything goes back to the status quo.
Oh my god!
I guess. I don't know.
Crazy. Yeah,
Hey.
Just for you guys don't know, Convergence. What that's going to do is like. It's basically, it's kind of like a secret war. It's kind of like a Secret Wars thing where they bring in, like a guy creates like a dome, like he brings in a bunch of different like heroes and villains from all over the like different multiverses, and they like get together, right? That's what it is, right? Agasicles?
I don't know. The only thing I understand is that the whole Earth 2 World's End and New 52 Futures End. I believe that the culmination of that is supposed to be Convergence. So it's yet again another event that's not really an event that is all a setup to lead into the next event.
See, the way I heard it was that eventually in Convergence, shit gets fucked up and all the different fucking stupid timeline universes and shit mixed together.
Oh, wait, like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Exactly.
No,
Only it's caused by something different.
The reason I'm excited about Convergence is because I love Brainiac and I want to see him back in action.
Yeah.
He's been away for a while.
I'll say, the cool thing about, and I definitely have some hate for Earth 2 and Earth 2 World's End and New 52 Futures End, besides the fact that World's End is apostrophe S and Futures End is just S, but that's another thing. But at any rate, one of the cool things about those 3 books is you get to see some heroes that you may have really liked back from the pre-New 52 era that are over now on Earth 2, or like reimaginings of some of those characters that they won't allow in the mainstream New 52 universe. So that's pretty cool. So like I like seeing like the Earth 2 Hawk Girl. And the Flash that's over there, and Steel, and some of those other characters. That is one neat thing about that venue for those characters.
Yeah. I think Earth 2 and those kind of books get a lot of leeway. Number one, because not a lot of people read them, and they're not technically the main like universe, so they can fuck shit up and nobody cares. So they're allowed to just like kind of like play around and like just kick down the sandcastle and do all that kind of stuff and have fun when there. So I always like Tom Taylor's like Injustice book was one of the best books out last year, and still is one of the best books. I don't know if he's still writing it. Is he still writing it?
I'm not sure. I haven't picked up on that one.
But yeah, so and it's great because, like I said, he's allowed to kill the Joker and have Superman go crazy and like just murder people. So yeah, those Earth like what if books are always kind of better. So back to Batman 38. Agasicles, I'm really interested to see or hear what you say when you read it because there is this kind of cool mystery going on, and there may be something that in this book that's revealed that kind of changes the Joker as a character as a whole and his ties to Batman and stuff. I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of like the whole crux of the issue.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, like it would totally change that character forever, and the way, like, how evil he is and all that, and the way he like interacts with society and stuff.
Yeah.
If it's not true, it's an amazing fucking con job. It's fucking, I mean, it's crazy. So I really hope we see. And then the teaser at the end is also like brings the whole like Zack Snyder's whole run like full circle. So it's really cool. I really can't wait to hear what you say about it.
Yeah. I'll definitely talk about it. Yeah, my perspective is all going to be, is that one issue, better than what I've been experiencing in Batman Eternal, because Batman Eternal is so hit and miss from week to week.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, there has been a couple lulls in Snyder's run, but I mean, I've loved everything that's come out so far, and I think they are better read in collections. Like if you can just wait it out and get them when the whole arc comes out, it's probably better to read that way. But I can't do that. Fuck. So I'm out of luck. But they're just great mystery stories. Like the Riddler one that just came out was. It was long, like it was 6 or 8 issues, but it was amazing. All right, I'll stop talking. So big news out this week, and probably be the last thing we talk about. I can't believe we've been going on at this for an hour already. Jesus Christ, we talk a lot. Was the Fantastic Four trailer?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So I know we have a lot to say, and we'll kind of go down the line. So Piper, you want to go first?
Yeah, because I can summarize mine. Like
really short.
Everett on geekswithwives.com wrote actual like paragraphs worth of how he felt about it, and then he quoted us on the end. And the quote that he quoted me on was talking about the Thing being naked.
I thought it was perfect. It's totally you.
Yeah, no, it definitely was totally me. But I'm like, man, on Twitter I said like more mature sounding opinions that he could have quoted. So I can sum it up. Like my entire feelings right now are: if you are getting super hyped up over this Fantastic Four from Fox, mind you, just from a super generic, could be any sci-fi movie ever lately, teaser trailer, you will probably watch anything. That is my feelings right now. There was so many people getting super duper hyped up and like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and I'm like, yeah, you can't even tell what the hell's going on. It looks like random clips from any sci-fi movie from the last 5 years at least, with a couple.
I think there is actually like a mashup of it with the Prometheus trailer.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I'm really mixed about it because I really want to hate this movie. I really do. But after hearing Josh Trank talk about it and hearing the comparisons to the Ultimate Universe, like I kind of intrigued just because I want to see them like wait it out and get to 3 movies and then have Reed Richards become the villain. Like that would be fucking amazing. And if they could pull that off, I don't know if they can. I don't know if they will. I'm sure they won't. But like all this like hubbub and like hoopla over Doom and all like. That shit would be
okay, no, they fucked up Doom. They fucked up Doom. I don't care about them changing the cast from not being like, related family. I don't care. That's awesome. I don't care who they cast as who. The fact that they made the Doom character that retarded, it's Iron Man 3 all over again, dude. Only this time a company only this time it's people I expect to do shit like that to a movie.
So now, did I watch the right or wrong trailer? Because where does Doom show up in the trailer?
He's not in the trailer. This is stuff that they just they announced and released that Doom is not Victor Von Doom. He's this little blogger dude who's
right.
like some totally cool American dude. So he's some dude, bro.
I don't think he's American. Sorry, I almost.
But he's got an American accent, is what I'm told.
I don't think he's American, but he's the ultimate comics Doom. So yeah, he's not Victor Von Doom. He's just like a science guy, or like a super hacker or whatever.
I know. They didn't say hacker, and they didn't even say science. They said blogger.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm with you. I'm kind of with you. Like I was always kind of like poo-pooing this movie, but after seeing that trailer, I'm a little more intrigued. Poo-pooing.
See, and it didn't make me more intrigued. It just made me more, you're trying to hide the fact that this shit sucks, aren't you? But like all Fox comic book movies, I will still watch it. I just won't pay theater prices to do so.
Messed up, man. Agasicles, what'd you think about it?
So, this is probably the first time Piper and I are going to fight.
Uh-oh. So, oh, shit, son.
Probably won't be the last.
No, I was positive on the trailer. You know.
I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I'm trying to imagine why. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Goodness. So the first thing is I really haven't kept up with all the casting news other than the kid from Friday Night Lights being cast as Johnny Storm and all the controversy over that. So. I did not realize that the guy who was in the Footloose remake is Reed Richards. So so that was interesting. But, I'll tell you, I guess what I got out of the trailer was, I'll say one of the things that I keyed in on was a lot of his facial expressions as Reed Richards and the portrayal of a young Reed Richards who was deeply invested in the science and like the things he was trying to push humanity to discover. And again, I just got that out of the trailer because I haven't really been keeping up with the whole Fantastic Four approach and either the positives or the hatred going on about it. So I guess the reason I'm positive on the trailer is because it seems like what I got out of it was that the movie is going to be focused on more of the character-driven points, and it seems like it's written from the aspect of these are going back to the old Kirby-esque Fantastic Four, right? That these are one of the first superheroes in that universe, and it's a discussion of an evolution of humanity. So I don't know. Like I said, I was positive about it, and I'm not a fan who feels like the movies always have to explicitly follow the comic. So
I agree.
I agree there. Just don't shit on the comic is my thing.
I will say the movie looks like they don't give a crap about the comic, right? It's that they're taking the minimal amount of background set up from it, and they're just going off in their own direction. However, the difference is when Michael Bay does it, it's like he's deliberately trying to drive a stake in the heart of your childhood. I don't get that feeling from this movie.
Well, my biggest thing, honestly, is I don't like or hate the movie. I don't think anybody can really formulate opinion from such a short little teaser trailer because it was still very generic looking. I do, unfortunately, have done some inside research, which is why I do have somewhat of my bias, where the full trailer is just really going to have to grab me, is the biggest thing. It's going to have to really grab me, and I probably, because I've learned my lesson, I've been burned too many times, I probably still won't pay theater prices to see it, whether or not I'm interested. But, yeah, I think it's dumb that there was controversy over the Torch being cast as he was, because there's tons of people going, well, how are they supposed to be related? I'm like, that's the easiest thing to say. Hey, in this one they're not related. Big deal. That's easy.
Well, in this one they are related, aren't they? Except that he's adopted, I thought.
She's adopted.
Okay, she's adopted. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So they're not blood related, but they are, one of the two.
Either, yeah. Well, I mean, that's more or less what I meant. They wanted them.
Right.
They had to be blood adopted. I'm like, okay, that's trying
blood
to
adopted does not work.
I mean, blood related. Shut up. Did I mention I drink on these?
I mean,
no, I'm still saying that out of all the stuff that you could have like little nerd rage over, that's nothing to nerd rage over. That's all of the movie adaptations of comic books are pushing that way, and then the comic books are then following suit and pushing that way. It's a sign of the times. It's a different time. And I think some people just really need to realize that and get with the times. The stuff that I don't like is when they interviewed, I can't remember who it was, but they interviewed one of the actors, I think, and they said that they were flat out, like they were going to actually read the comics to research for the role, and they were told not to. That's something that I'm like, wow, that's a director or somebody saying, oh no, we plan to completely shit on the actual comic. We're just taking what you guys look like and maybe a tiny bit of the premise, like a tiny bit of something, and that's it.
I mean, but do you think that's a director who, kind of like I was alluding to, is not doing a Fantastic Four movie that is a replica of the comic, and therefore doesn't want if the actors haven't read the background material, doesn't want them influenced by trying to replicate that when he or she wants to do something different?
I think, though, if you're going to make a comic book movie, that there should be some comic book knowledge involved. Whether or not you stick strictly to it, you don't have to stick strictly to it.
They're called the Fantastic Four still.
Yeah, that's about it. And they have the same powers, I hope. But I'm worried because I'm also worried about this obsession with everything needs to be grittier. Because I worked so well for fucking Man of Steel, right?
Okay, yeah. So that's the second thing we'll fight over then, I guess. I actually like Man of Steel, but
we don't have time for this conversation at all.
Oh my gosh! Oh no! Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it a chance because that's my new policy on life. Is I can't judge anything before I see the entire product. Just like I can't judge Battle War before I see it come out and see how it plays out. I'm not going to judge I'm just going to try not to judge Fantastic Four or anything else like that. But yeah, I think that the idea that Cronenberg and The Fly is an influence and they're treating it like a very horror, kind of like a horror movie, like a horror sci-fi thing. I mean, that's very much how the trailer went off. It's cool, but at the same time, if I was making a Fantastic Four, that's not what my influences wouldn't be that. Mine would be Lost in Space and Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah.
That's not Josh Trank's fault. That's his vision, and I need to give that a chance. And I can't judge it based off that's not my vision for those characters. But then again,
you know that even when I hate on stuff,
hold on 1 second. You got to talk. Plenty. It's my turn to talk. I will encourage you, Piper, and I
am the prettiest. I get to talk.
Well, I don't know. Agasicles will give you a run for your money. I will encourage you though to read Ultimate Fantastic Four because if you read that, it is very it's very Ultimates centered. They're very young. Victor Von Doom is not the same Von Doom that's from Marvel. So
and maybe I kind of get because I didn't like that comic either.
And you also have to think too, the first two Fantastic Four movies are hated, they're fucking hated. So he's gonna try to separate himself as much as he can from those movies, and he's got to go as far as outside of the box as he can. And if that means containment suits with springs and vents on them, and no actual costumes until the last 15 minutes of the movie, then I guess that's what we're gonna get. But
it's also cheaper that way, production-wise.
Yeah, true. But and better for toys because now they can make two versions of each character.
Yeah.
The saving grace of this film will be is if the overall arcing villain, because there's a line in the trailer where Victor Von Doom is laying on a table and he says there's something worse out there or it's coming or something like that or you need to prepare yourself. If a nihilist shows up at the end of this movie, all is forgiven. I'm done. If there's a big giant guy with green wings and a purple vest and a bug robot face, I'm sold. That's all it will take. So I think Need to give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
I'll also give them huge ups if Herbie the Robot shows up in the movie.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone tweet that today. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Of course, I am completely kidding.
Everything I hate on preemptively, I still give a shot. That way I can either say I told you so or end up enjoying myself. One of the two. Like.
Yep. Okay, so we are already past an hour. We have an audience question. So we'll go through the question real fast. Then we'll talk about. I can't even. What's the hashtag? Agasicles? I'm totally blanking on it now.
Comics Forward. Is it
Comics Forward? We should talk about the Comics Forward for real quickly, and then we'll have to end this thing because we're gonna run way over time. So, question from a follower. I don't know, Piper. Do you know who the follower was? Because I didn't get this question.
The follower is Robert Mason.
Okay, Robert.
And
your question.
Asked, what movie or TV show we'd like to see as a game? A good game, not a shitty licensed crap game. He put that in there.
Piper added crap, not shitty. Just to be clear.
I wrote crap, but I mean shitty.
You first.
Yeah. So I said Arrow, just because that's kind of the gig that I'm into right now. So I think that would make a very neat game if you did it properly and allowed for like trick shots. Don't go the, don't try and be fancy with all the different types of arrows. I think that would be cool, but focus on like the trick shots and actually if it had good hand-to-hand combat, since that's such a big part of that show as well.
I was gonna say, and if the game follows the show, then we've got like a nice cohesive storyline that they can pull from.
Yeah.
That would look awesome too. I'd play that.
Piper, what you answer? You answer now.
Oh shit! See, I was hoping I still had more time to think about it, but I kept running my mouth instead.
I can say my answer. I want to see a girls' game, just like in the vein of Game of Thrones, like a Telltale game based on girls. So then I can live the life of Lena Dunham and be her in a video game and make decisions on who I should date and who I shouldn't date.
You want a dating sim from the perspective of a girl.
But I want Lena Dunham to be in it.
Well, okay. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, from her perspective.
Yeah. I was trying to go for a joke answer, and that was as fast as I could come up with. If you guys gave me like a day, like I could have come up with something much better, but that was really not very good. But seriously, I would love to see I would like to see a Gotham game, but not of the TV show, of the comic book. So like Batman was actually like in the background, and the villains actually made sense in the world that they lived in.
Yeah.
So I would be down for that. But like with LA, like kind of like LA Noir, but like more action and more Batman. That'd be cool. Piper, your turn now.
Well, see, my answer is a little bit off of the comic books, unfortunately. So it's not a comic book related. I want to see a supernatural game.
You and this fucking Supernatural. Just admit it. You just like the two lead actors. Can everyone just admit that anyone who likes that show just likes looking at the two lead actors? Can we all just admit that?
The rest of the show is pretty good too, but pretty good. No, because there's tons of you can bring in all sorts of critters that you have to kill and all sorts of stupid drama. And the best part is,
have they actually brought in the critters? Have you seen the critters?
There are I mean monsters. There are monsters.
How do you even know about that, Casey?
Here's the best part of this game. What will make this game stand out from all other games is whichever brother you pick, the other one is dressed up like a princess and is in a castle, and you have to save them.
Is that? I don't remember that from the show.
No, that's what that show is.
No,
every season,
writing that shit down.
Is one brother, oh no, there's something wrong with him. And the next season, it's the next brother, oh no, now there's something wrong with him. We gotta save him. Oh no, that's your turn. You need saved.
Because those are the only two people anyone cares about on that show.
Yeah, and one or the other always needs saving. Every freaking season, they swap. So, like right now, it's Dean's turn. He needs saved, I guess. He's the damsel. So, when you play the game, whichever brother you want to play as, the other one is the damsel.
So are we talking 2D platformer? Open world, which one?
Yeah, that works. It would work as one. They wouldn't
All
look
right.
as hot in 2D though.
I knew it. So before we get out of here, we're going to talk about a little movement that is going on right now in kind of the social medias, started by Boom Comics, and it's called Comics Forward. And basically what it means is they're kind of encouraging readers, creators, comic companies to encourage comics to move forward in like the way of like gender equality and racial equality and kind of all the areas that it's kind of fucking up in and fumbles a lot of the time. So, Agasicles, do you want to tell us a little bit more about it?
I think you pretty much covered everything that I know.
I covered it. Oh yeah, like they did. Like it really happened like today, right? Like it started kind of today. So so basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to gain awareness and trying to get comic companies to open up and be more like social awareness friendly or
the companies themselves or the comics?
The comic. And I think, Casey, I don't know if you said it, but we should attribute this. This is specifically a movement started by Boom Studios.
Boom, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
So now I'm sure someone's going to go back and look at all of Boom's comics and be like, yep, white guy, white guy, white guy, white guy.
Well, I do want to throw in that that's how comics have been up till like the past couple years, because especially thanks to the movies, since I guess enough pressure was put on the movies or something. Like when they make movie adaptations, they are diversifying the cast a lot more, and then that's translating back to the comics. And then Marvel patted themselves on the back really freaking hard with female Thor. So,
oh no, they patted themselves on the back really hard with Miss Marvel. That's where they started the patting.
No, when they announced their choice to announce female Thor was The View. That was them patting themselves on the back so goddamn hard. They probably still have a bruise. So.
We're not helping this movement at all, by the way, Piper.
Right?
No,
it's what I'm saying is they're doing it sort of already. What I would like to see is them doing it and then not using it as a selling point. Like, look how diverse we are. Buy our shit instead of just do it.
So I don't think that's what's behind the Boom Studios campaign. Just because I don't feel like that's kind of what they're.
No, what I'm saying is that's what I want to see. I think comics were already starting to do it. What I want to see them do, and what I want to see hopefully come from this Boom Studio thing is them doing it without having to make a big fuss about look what we just did. We're finally progressive. Check it out. Just do it. Shut up about it. Just do it.
Yeah, that's not contrived. But I will say, and I'm not saying that Marvel didn't do it for marketing reasons. I will say, in one aspect, I'm glad that they make a big deal out of it, because otherwise people wouldn't know. So if I just walked into a store or gone to Comixology, right, and seen, African American Captain America with no lead up, I would have just looked at it and like, oh, that's some one-off thing, and they're going to pop right back to Steve Rogers like 2 issues from now, and I would have blown it off. But, but knowing that there was a setup and a whole point behind it, kind of.
Oh yeah, setup and a whole point. That's fine. What I'm talking about is when their whole focus of whatever isn't, all right, Captain America's not in the saddle anymore. He's taken over. If their whole thing is, look, a black guy, then then I have a problem.
Yep.
Which is what they did with Thor. It was, look, a chick. Chick, you guys. You happy now, feminists? There's a chick. That's what that was.
I mean, do you feel like that's what they're doing with the movies? Because that's kind of what they did.
Let me. I apologize. This is going to take us a little longer, but this is. I want to throw this out because I keep seeing this like in forums and Facebook pages and whatnot.
Get it out there.
There's certain nerds that don't get it, right?
Yeah.
Movies are much more. Are a much bigger business, and there's a lot more financial sensitivity to how movies get greenlit and what they score at the box office. So here's the deal with movies. The reason you can't make a comic book movie that is just about a group of Caucasian people is because you need to get butts in seats, and the more diverse the cast is, the more chance you have of getting minorities to go see a movie, right? So that's what drives that. That's why, I hate to say it, that's why there's an African American guy who's in the Fantastic Four. Because if there's not, there's a high likelihood that African American people aren't going to go see that movie, right? So it's all about box office returns and making money.
I would love to see that movie at an African American theater.
They didn't sit there and go, and their trailer didn't go, no, with a black dude.
Right.
They still
Agasicles.
push it. It was the nerds themselves that went insane over it.
Can we go see Fantastic Four together in the hood, please?
And there's nuances of dynamics to that, right? Part of that dynamic is, little 12-year-old Johnny, who's African American, says he wants to go see a movie. Somebody's got to take him. Somebody looks at the cast and says, there's not an African-American person in here. He can wait to watch that on video or whatever. But my point is that contrived? Not really. It's more a matter of that's just an inherent part of the movie industry, and it's established. And that's why, in a lot of ways, the movie industry stretches those boundaries more so than the comic book industry. So, like Piper said, because the movie industry is pushing boundaries, because that's part of their business model, they're pulling the comics industry along with it. So there was a lot of hatred about, oh, well...
Look how happy she is. Look how happy she is.
I'm right!
Yes, no one said I was right.
I can block out everything else after that part. All right, I'm right. I'm kidding.
There was a lot of vitriol that, oh, well, they're just doing it in comics because... I'm like, they should just make it more natural and it should be so contrived. And my perspective was, look, if the movie industry is more progressive and the comic book industry follows them, that's great. I don't feel like we need to wait another 20 years for the comic book industry to get their crap together with regards to diversity and being more reflective of current day society. If they get sucked along by the movie industry because Marvel wants the movies to make money and to pull their comics business along with it, great, fine, get over it.
Whatever
you guys
works.
are way too smart for me.
And yeah, movies have for a long time realized that they need to appeal to more than one specific audience, or they're not going to do well.
Right.
Comics for a long time didn't have to. They weren't really forced to, and I think they got used to their formula and they stuck with it because it's what was working for them. I think a big thing about it is that because of movie sales and this and that, comics realized, oh shit, there's more freaking potential customers out there. Maybe we should think about that and cater to them. So I'm glad that they are catching up with the times. It did take them long enough. The downside is the fact that you don't see movies going, check it out, guys. Hey, aren't we being progressive? Whereas the comic books, it feels like that's what they're doing. It feels like they're going, oh, look, hey, we did it right there, see, right there. And I'm like, you know what? You can make a storyline. You can put a diverse cast in that storyline. You can be respectful to that cast in your storyline without your entire selling point being, check it out, there's a chick who's got normal-sized tits or isn't revealing clothing, or check it out, there's a black dude or a black chick or whatever. You don't have to sit there and point to it. That just makes it tacky, because then I feel like you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Damn straight.
No, yeah. I totally had something to say and I totally forgot. Oh, hashtag comics forward.
Yes.
No, so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of social media is helping with this movement too, because I think comic companies, with the help of Facebook and Twitter, realize that not everybody out there reading comics is a 35-year-old white male. So let's just help out Boom and hashtag comics forward and think and let them know what we think that they need to do to kind of progress comics in the same way that movies and TV and other forms of media seem to be progressing and allowing transgender and gay and lesbian storylines kind of intertwined into media. Because I do think with the popularity of comic book movies and TV shows, and they're taking over, the comics now kind of have a responsibility to cater to all their fans, and those include the disenfranchised and the minorities.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
Holy crap. Dude, you.
Wow, that was I had like a blacked out for a second there. What happened?
No, I was gonna say I think you just sounded smart there for a second. Oh shit! You might have even used a big word or two.
I blacked out. I didn't all right, I think we're gonna end the show right there. So that was a good spot too. Way to segue, Casey. I'm taking over.
There you go.
Agasicles, where can we find you, my friend?
I'm all over the place under the same name. So Facebook, Twitter, Agasicles.
Yeah, ain't nobody stealing your name.
Right. Yeah. Twitter as Agasicles Statements, one word, so there'll be two S's in the middle, and on Google Plus, Agasicles Statements.
If time travel is ever invented, you're fucked. There's going to be a lot of people coming with your name. I know that's a long road.
Yeah.
A long road.
Oh, and I should say, if you want to check out this new kind of community blog kind of experiment that we're doing, also check out regularjoegamer.com.
Thank you very much, my friend. Piper, where can we find you?
At FizzGiggity with a Y on Twitter and just about everything else except Facebook. I'm not telling anybody my Facebook. It's mine. You can come troll me or try to troll me on Twitter, where I will make you cry, and or at least make you feel like a little bitch, or look like a little bitch. Yeah. So
try to make us fans.
Yep. No. Right. And don't forget to check out Outside Boxcast on Twitter as well, and Outside the Box on WordPress or something. I've never gotten my own WordPress right. In order for me to access it, I have to log in because I keep forgetting how it's typed. So if you just follow the Twitter or Outside Boxcast on Facebook, you will be able to get to the WordPress a lot easier than I've been.
Awesome. We'll check that out. You're tweeting a lot, so you're hard to miss.
Yeah.
You guys can find me at Bad Boy Comics on Twitter. I don't really do the Facebook thing. But you can find us at GWW Capes Crew. That's the Twitter account for the podcast. Usually I'm tweeting from that as well. So I'm sharing my opinion on both. Make sure you guys are visiting Geeks with Wives every week, every single day. New stuff's going up all the time. Go read Agasicles' article about Battle World. Go read our latest movie reviews. Go read our impressions of the Fantastic Four trailer. All that stuff is on geekswithwives.com. And make sure you guys are listening to both of our other podcasts. We got a whole network of podcasts now. Our TV and movie podcast, Geeks on Screen, and the Geeks with Wives proper podcast where they talk about all things video games and such.
And the stream, the Twitch.
Oh, yeah, and when it works, when I fucking make it work.
Right.
We occasionally stream on Twitch, usually Sundays and Wednesdays, so you guys can check that out, twitch.tv/geekswithwives. So that is our show tonight. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys rate and review us on iTunes. That would help us out a ton. Please do that now before you stop listening to this. Go rate and review us. Thank you so much for coming on, Agasicles and Piper. We will see you guys next week and catch you on the Geek side.